The air in Tenerife was warm, but it carried a heaviness that clung to every breath Slater's mother took. The sun had painted the sky in soft hues of pink and orange, the kind Jay would have loved. He used to say sunsets were like God's way of signing off for the day. Now she stood on the very edge of the cliff where her son had fallen, where the earth had taken him back in a moment too swift, too cruel. Her name was Angela, a quiet woman by nature. She had found herself thrust into the loudest silence of her life. Since the news of Jay's fall, everything had turned into a blur of formalities and sorrow. The only clarity she had now came from the small, smooth pebble she held in her hand, a gesture as simple as it was profound. Jay had once given her a pebble when he was 8. It was nothing special, just something he found during a beach trip to Brighton. But he had called it his lucky stone and said it would protect her when he wasn't around. Just in case, he had whispered. Angela had kept it in her jewelry box for over a decade, never understanding its weight until now. Now she stood above the place where Jay had fallen, holding a similar stone, this time not given to her, but chosen by her. She had spent hours walking the rocky coastline, searching for one that felt right. Not too large, not too small. Smooth, like the one he gave her. Warm from the sun, like his hugs. She closed her eyes. "Jay," she said, barely more than a whisper. "You were always chasing the edge of the world, weren't you?" She remembered how he'd never sit still. How he loved to run. To leap, to explore. As a child, he was always the one climbing trees, scaling rocks, pushing the boundaries. Even as a teenager, when most boys were getting into trouble, Jay found his thrill in adventure. Always curious, always daring. Tenerife had called to him, just as every horizon did. And now it had taken him. She knelt carefully, not daring to get too close to the ledge, and placed the pebble on a flat piece of rock. It felt like the most fragile offering in the world. A mother's gesture to a son she would never hold again. But in that moment, it was all she had to give. "I brought you something," she said. "Just in case. Like you did for me." The wind stirred, brushing her hair back gently as if in reply. The ocean far below was restless, crashing against the cliffs like it too mourned a loss. Angela imagined Jay's spirit dancing somewhere in that surf, bold, wild, laughing. Around her, tourists passed occasionally, giving her space when they noticed the grief carved into her features. Some nodded respectfully. A few left flowers. One kind-eyed old man offered her a tissue without saying a word. It was strange how grief could unite strangers in such silent solidarity. She stayed there until the sun was a burnt red coin slipping into the sea. The sky darkened, stars beginning to pierce the blue above. It reminded her of the nights Chief and Jay would lie on their backs in the garden, pointing out constellations. "See that one, Mum?" he once asked. "That's Orion. He's the warrior, protector of the night." Jay had always liked the idea of heroes. Angela tilted her head upward. "Be my Orion, love," she whispered. "Be my protector now." As the stars bloomed into brightness, she pulled out a small envelope from her jacket pocket. Inside was a letter. It was short, written on the hotel notepad, her handwriting trembling and raw. "My dearest boy, you were light. You were laughter. You were the rhythm of our lives. This world is darker without you, but I will carry you in every breath, every heartbeat. Thank you for every sunrise you gave me. Sleep in the stars, Jay. Love, Mum." She tucked the letter under the stone, weighed down just enough so the wind wouldn't carry it off too soon. But a part of her hoped it might. That it might drift out into the ocean, find its way to wherever he was. Grief, she realized, wasn't something you survived. It was something you learned to carry, like a second skin, like the weight of the stone in your pocket. Always there, always reminding. But so too was love. And love was louder. It was in the way she still spoke his name, the way she kissed the photo of him on her phone every night. It was in every tear, every prayer, every time she reached for his memory like a lifeline. As she rose to leave, Angela turned back one last time. The stone sat quietly, the letter beneath it, a mother's tribute etched not in marble, but in the language only love and loss understood. And in that silence, the stars shimmered a little brighter, the wind softened, and the sea, for a brief moment, calmed. Jay Slater may have fallen from the edge of the world, but his mother's love would always find him, even across the divide between earth and sky. Would you like a version of this suitable for a news article or memorial post as well?